Okay, well, I want to welcome everyone to our parent speaker presentation tonight. Tonight, we're going to discuss kindergarten through 12th grade career development at Lindbergh schools. You will hear from members of our counseling team who are excited to share the lessons and activities that they do in class with our students to help prepare them for what happens after graduation. So our panel consists of Ann Kleitch, who is our lead counselor for Lindbergh Schools, but she is our school counselor at Crestwood Elementary. We will also have Kim Maddock, a school counselor at Long Elementary, Carrie Pulliam, our Truman Middle School counselor, Tina Christinell, Sparing Middle School counselor, Dr. John Reithmeyer, who is our high school counselor and department chair, and Trisha Hayes, who is one of our high school counselors as well. So just to give you guys a little bit of some background, Beth, if you can go to the next slide. Lindbergh Schools follows the Missouri Comprehensive School Counseling Curriculum, and one of the strands in that program is career development. So that is what our focus is for tonight. So if you take a look at the screen, you'll see at the very top career paths, clusters, and pathways, and that is going to be a lot of what guides our discussion tonight. In the elementary school, you'll hear that we really focus in on career paths. There's 6 paths. They are those bright colored topics in the middle of this image. And then around that, we have clusters. And there's 16 clusters, and those are areas that we start to get students to focus and drill down into when we get into middle school. And then in high school, we continue that focus with the career clusters, but we also have students start to dig in even deeper into pathways. And there's 100+ pathways that students can explore. And another way to describe pathways would be actual careers that students may want to dig into. So I'm going to go ahead and let our school counseling team get started with their presentation tonight. But just so you know, just again, tonight you're going to hear about how the team engages students in career exploration activities and how they help students take those interests and activities and drill down into even more specific things, such as desired courses they want to take when they get to high school, even looking into opportunities inside and outside of the building to engage with those in the field of those careers, and just whatever we can do to help prepare students for those post-secondary adventures that they are going to take. So we'll get started with our elementary. Next slide.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Kim Maddock. I'm the school counselor at Long, as Jill said. So the Missouri Guidance Program has organized jobs into these different categories, as Jill had said, and we call them the paths at the elementary level. So these paths make it easier for our students to learn about different types of jobs, and they're organized in a logical and meaningful way. So, and all of the jobs in each path have similar characteristics. So by the time our students leave in 5th grade, we want our students to know the 6 career paths, the types of jobs in them, and which paths that they identify with based on their academic strengths and their personal interests. So starting back in kindergarten, we start talking about the world of work and why people work, what they do when they work. Maybe some tools that they possibly use while they're working. And we start labeling different types of jobs for our kindergartners. And then in 1st grade, we start to talk about the different types of skills that are needed for jobs that they know, possibly around the community. For instance, one of our lessons is we play Who Am I? And these are, I give them questions for them to guess a type of job that's in the school. And one of them is the principal. And we talk about what are the skills needed to be a principal? Well, a principal needs to be a good listener. They need to be fair. They need to know math because they balance a budget. So those are all the different types of skills that are needed for a specific job. And then in second grade, our lessons start to emphasize like their student strengths and how they could possibly use that in the world of work. So maybe you like to build with Legos. So you might identify with the scene in building, and you might be wanting to learn more about the construction or the engineering types of jobs. But really, second grade, we still are exposing them to lots of various different jobs that are in the world and just exposing them. And then in third grade, we really start to concentrate on the actual paths. We want them to learn the characteristics of each of those paths and really start to know the different types of jobs that are in them. And can you do the next slide, please, for me? And then in fourth and fifth grade, this is when we start to take our interest inventories. Our students take a couple of them, and we start to individualize their interests and their academic strengths to a specific career path. They're also given time to investigate different types of careers that might be in those career paths through various websites that we have. And they actually dig into like what types of subjects they would need to study to be in that job, how much school they would need, how much money they would make, and where would they need? Would they need to be relocated? If you want to be a marine biologist, that might be kind of difficult in St. Louis. You might need to relocate to one of the coasts. So all those different things that go into the job. Is it very hard to get? Are there a lot of people that want that type of job? So those are the conversations that we start having, and they're starting to investigate those. By the time they leave us in fifth grade, we want them to know their strengths, their interests, and how they identify with those career paths so that they can start to think about those different types of classes that they might want to take in middle school and in high school. So that's basically it in a nutshell. That's a quick snapshot for elementary.
All right, so then for, again, for the middle school level, this is the exact same example that Jill, but just to remind us that Dr. Lawson had spoke of at the beginning of the presentation. This shows again, the career paths that they focused on in elementary. And then our next focus in middle school is the career clusters. All the things in black type are the career clusters, and there's 16 of those. And we try to narrow it down with very similar things they discuss at the elementary level in those areas, and see which ones would work best, or which ones match them the best. So narrowing it at the focus down a little bit more. Next slide, please.
Sorry. And like Kim said, in fifth grade, they really start to focus in on that interest and looking at how that affects future study. And so we continue that at the middle school level. All of our middle school career lessons are provided through Missouri Connections. And so this is to help students learn more about their career interest clusters as they work toward high school planning. That is a big focus of ours. So in sixth grade, we spend time talking about learning styles. They take a learning styles survey with us to help them better understand how do they study, what works best for them. Are they auditory? Are they visual? Are they tactile? So we review this with them, as well as reviewing various study tips for that type of style. So we spend a lot of time on that. And then we also start talking about employability skills. What are the things they need to be able to work in a job? Especially those soft skills. We start talking about communication skills, working with others, time management, how all of those are important in the line of work, along with, of course, the math, science, social studies, and English. So we spend a lot of time on those soft skills. And then in seventh grade, we revisit the interest profile that they started in fourth and fifth grade. They've changed a little bit from 4th and 5th grade up to 7th grade. Maybe their interest, they've tried new things. So we go back into an interest profile. They take that again with us. They see where their interests are starting to fall now and how those interests can affect various jobs in the clusters. They start to review what careers fall under those interests, what are opportunities that are out there for them, what is needed in high school and beyond to be able to start to pursue those. We also spend time on called the reality check, which helps them dive deeper into the reality and the cost of things to help them better understand now that they are 7th grade. What does it cost to have a cell phone? What does it cost to be able to go shopping, to pay your bills? And we help them look at that cost along with being able to work in high school and beyond. And what does that mean? And then in 8th grade, we start to take the career cluster inventory they did with us, and we start to look at the pathways. We talk about post-secondary goals. Do they want to go to a 4-year school? If a career they're interested in after high school, what does that look like? We start to talk about that and help them with their high school planning. We work through the ICAP, and I know that high school will talk a lot more about this, but they start to look at the ICAP with us, and they start to plan their freshman year courses and what that looks like with taking their interest and their learning styles they learned with us along in 6th and 7th grade, because all this information is saved in Missouri Connections, and we revisit it all in 8th grade again. And they take that information and to the interest that they have in the cluster, and what does that look like for high school planning. So we start that freshman year with them planning, as well as work with the high school to continue on what that might look like in a 5-year path. Next slide, please.
Okay, and now this is just a little bit of snapshots, one example from each grade. What is the information that is given to the student once they've completed the task under Missouri Connections. So as Mrs. Pulliam referred to in 6th grade, here's a snapshot of the learning style study tips, breaking it down into the 3 areas and study tips that are part of that. All this information is stored on Missouri Connections website, and easily anybody can get it. Parents and students can still see the same thing. The 7th grade snapshot here is the results from the reality check that we delve into after we've had them complete it. We also review those. And then in 8th grade, here's the results from the ICAP survey. For parents, you can always log on. There's a piece for Missouri Connections too that you can log on to here on this website and get to the parent piece. But we also recommend what you do. This picture up at the top, this icon, that is on every middle school student's device. The Missouri Connections icon here. That's how when we present the lessons, they go through that icon and they log on to there, and then I ask them which way to log on. They log on through Clever. And as Mrs. Pulliam mentioned, I would recommend, because every middle school student has already received their career lessons this year. And so any information that they've already done, both at Truman and at Sparing, is saved. So once the results of the surveys are saved, are completed, then the results are saved on there. So if you want to review it with your student at home, just ask them to log on to this Missouri Connections icon, go through Clever, and you can review the results of the surveys with them. Next slide, please.
Good evening. My name's John Riethmeyer, and I have Tricia Hayes here with me. We are both high school counselors, and we're going to talk about 4 different things here. The My Path Canvas page, school links, Diploma Plus programs, and other resources. To demonstrate the My Canvas or My Path Canvas page, I'm going to pull up a screen here. So give me just a moment. All right. At the high school level, we use, throughout Lindbergh, we use Canvas quite a bit. And to simplify things, we created a Canvas page that deals with course planning, as well as just a one-stop shop place, anything career related. And what I wanted to do is show you this My Path Canvas page and show you some of the things that are on here. So what I brought up here, and every student in grades 8 through 11 have access to this. And then next year, it'll be carried over to seniors as well. But on this page, it's a Canvas page. It's called My Path. We have these different tabs on here for the particular grade level. I'm just going to go into class of 2026, and all the items are going to be very similar amongst the various grade levels. But there's going to be several tabs that come up along the top. There are 3 that I'm going to focus in on tonight: the My Path, the course recommendations, and the registration. In the My Path tab, I'm going to take you into this, show you what this looks like here. A student will go into this, and then their name will appear here. And when they go into it, they're going to get a spreadsheet, if you will, that looks like this. And what this is a way that students can kind of keep track of what they are going to take, what they're planning on taking, and try and connect it to potential careers and plan all that out. In high school, students take 7 classes a day over 4 years. So they have about 28 possible selections to make. And that seems like a lot to 8th graders, but it fills up very quickly. And this document here will help students kind of plan that stuff out. So in this document, on the left-hand side, we have all the graduation requirements listed here on the left. So they have that as a reminder. As they move over to the right, we have information for every year that a student is in high school, and they're color coded. Oftentimes, students will take classes before their 9th grade year, so we have a place for them to plan that in this document. And then as we go down, we have a place for them to plan their 9th grade year. A few of these courses are going to be pre-populated in here. Every student has to take English 1. Every freshman takes world history. Every freshman takes biology. Every student takes a math course. And then it allows them to kind of customize it for them. So what they're taking, if they're taking honors or regular, and then some of their electives as well. So they'll put that in, and they begin to do this in 8th grade when they choose their courses for 9th grade. Then the plan is every year in high school, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, we're going to go back and revisit this and have students update this and plan out further. So sophomore or freshman year, when students are here, we're going to have them go back into here. And our goal is for them to kind of plan out the rest of high school. So they'll continue if they're going to do anything over the summer, and then what they're planning on taking in 10th grade year, all the way through their senior year. And what this allows a student to do is to kind of figure out, where do I take everything that I need, all my graduation requirements? How do I get all that to fit in there? What if I want to do something extra or something in addition to a traditional day? And we're going to talk about some of those programs in a moment. But for example, what if a student wants to take half a day at tech school? How does that fit into my schedule? How do I have to move things around and adjust things? And that's what this document allows the student to do, is to kind of figure that stuff out. What's beautiful about this is it's saved in Canvas, and they can always access this and update it and change it and suit it to their style or whatever they're thinking of that particular day. All right, how do I go back? So that is the first tab that I wanted to demonstrate and show you in here. The next tab that we have in this Canvas page is something called Course Recommendations. In here, we have a list of all 16 career clusters that were alluded to earlier. And within these, to try and help students maybe find some courses that match their interests, this is a document they can use. So for example, if I click on this business management and administration, there's going to be something that comes up that looks like this. And in here, it's going to list on the right-hand side elective courses that students can take. In other words, these are courses that students can take that Lindbergh offers that match up with that career cluster. So if they're interested in business, for example, here are all the courses that Lindbergh offers that deal with business in some fashion. Now, for most students, it will be impossible for them to take all these courses, but there's hundreds of courses students can take. So this just makes it a whole lot easier for students to whittle down and maybe pick some courses that match up with their career interests. Now, for example, if they take something and don't like it, well, then if they want to switch to a different career cluster, that's fine. They can pick a different one. And then once again, we're going to have those suggested courses listed in there for students to choose. All right. Then the last tab in this document is a registration tab. And to simplify things, when students sign up for courses, we like to have a one-stop shopping place, if you will, where students can get all their information when it comes to course planning and choosing their courses for the following year. So we ran everything through this Canvas page where it had the steps for them to sign up for courses, our documents to support Navigator, and then other resources that they could access. So this is just a small sample of this Canvas page called My Path that helps students do some planning. Now I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Hayes, who's going to jump into talking about School Links, which is another resource that we have here.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. So I just want to introduce you to a platform that we use here at the high school to help students with their college and career planning. And this is something we do introduce to them as early as freshman year because we want them to be using it right away. And there's many different things that students can do. And I just want to give you just an overview of all the different things that it offers. So this is what a student's dashboard would look like. Over here to the left, under activities, there's several different things that they do, but the one thing that we like students to work on are the different assessments. And this is a good tool to use as students are navigating through their college and career planning process. As they do the assessments, School Links will house that information, and they can retake the assessments throughout high school. Another option over here is colleges for those students who are wanting to start doing those college search from a community college to a four-year university or a trade and technical school. They'll be able to start checking out the different options that are available. We go down a little bit further to the careers button. Here at the Career Center, students can actually type in a career that they are thinking about. So maybe they are thinking about being a high school teacher. And within this, it gives you a general overview of the career, and it shows a video of someone who is a teacher. One of the last things that we have students use, and this is for our seniors who are thinking about attending in college in some way, shape, or form. Many of them are looking for scholarship opportunities. So under the finances tab, you will notice there's a scholarship matching, and this is where they can go into to find out all of their scholarship opportunities. The district offers foundation scholarships just for Lindbergh High School students, and then there's many other scholarship opportunities out there. Beth, can we go back to the presentation? Okay, and so now we are going to talk for just a moment about the diploma programs. As students are going through high school and taking some of the different elective classes, some students are looking for some more real-world experiences that they can do throughout high school. Some of it may be in a career or a job field. Others may be taking classes at St. Louis Community College. But these are some of the different diploma programs that we offer. AP Capstone, which is a rigorous diploma program that is available for students. Early College, where students are taking all of their classes at St. Louis Community College. We have our Flex program, where students are coming to school and going to work. We offer an internship for those students who want to be placed in a business for that hands-on real-world experience. And then for our seniors, we offer dual enrollment, and those are for students who are wanting to just come to Lindbergh for the classes that they need, but then start taking classes at the community college. We have a meeting every November, December to talk in more details about all of these different Diploma Plus programs. But if you do have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to your student's counselor. Next slide, please.
Continuing with these Diploma Plus programs, we have 4 additional ones. I alluded to the first one, South Tech, in the bottom left-hand corner. This is where a student spends half their day junior and senior year working on at South Tech doing, they can choose from one of 25 different hands-on type programs. We have dual credit, which students can get into as early as sophomore year, but primarily junior and senior year, where they stay at Lindbergh High School, and there's a few courses that students can choose to take here that they get both high school and college credit for at the same time without even leaving our campus. On the top right-hand corner, we have St. Louis CAPS. That program is similar to South Tech in that it's a partial day program, but it's going to be more professional type settings in a hospital, at a school, in a business. But it's real world experience kids get for a half a day. And then finally, the last thing, this is probably the newest thing, it's called Access Point. And this is something that has only been around, this is the second year, I believe, where students can, senior year, participate in a partial day program where they're here at Lindbergh High School, and then they leave our campus to do some computer programming courses at the community college and in the industry. And if they complete the program, they're guaranteed a job upon graduation. So that's something exciting. Next slide. The last couple slides that will wrap up the high school portion deal with other college and career resources that we have available. I'm just going to go over these first 4 here, and then Ms. Hayes will close it out. Throughout the year, we have various career speakers that come in to speak to students. For example, this year we've had a CPA, a pilot come in, some various labor unions. And during academic networking, they take about a half an hour and they just kind of go over what they do and then give students an opportunity to ask questions. In addition to that, we have college, military, and career visits. Typically, this is during lunchtime where we set up outside the library, and students, as they're passing by, can stop and talk to a representative from one of those organizations. This year alone, we've had over 70 different colleges, careers, that type of thing come in here. Every fall in October, Lindbergh hosts a college fair where we have over 130 different college representatives here. So a great way to meet some colleges and find out a little bit more from their actual representatives, all in one place. And then the last thing on this slide is our college and career counselor, Miss Keegan, who couldn't be here this evening, unfortunately, but she sends out every couple weeks a newsletter that goes over all the opportunities. It'll list all the speakers that are here, all the representatives that are coming in, but just to make sure that's going out to students and parents. And the way she divides that newsletter up is by grade level. So all the stuff that's pertinent to seniors, juniors, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please.
Okay, so to continue with some additional resources that we offer, and a lot of these are geared towards juniors and seniors because we're really thinking about their post-high school plans and what that may look like. So Mrs. Keegan has organized several field trips over the last couple of years. She's taken students to Rankin, St. Louis Community College, and also the Boeing Employment Center. Starting with usually second semester of junior year and well into senior year, she will start having individual meetings with students to talk about post-high school plans, and also will have parent meetings. She offers several workshops. She will have a college application summer workshop. They'll be advising for students who are wanting to attend St. Louis Community College during the it will be during the school day if they want to attend St. Louis Community College post-high school. She also has a career panel in May where different careers will come and speak to students. And then she also offers scholarship help. One of the last things is she goes into classrooms and does presentations with our junior and senior students, and there will also be some evening opportunities for parents. Any presentation that she does in the classroom, she always sends those presentation out to students and families, just so everyone can see what's happening in the classrooms.
Well, thank you guys so much for sharing all of that information. I really want to thank our counselors who presented tonight and also our counselors who are not here for all the hard work that they do to help support our students and get them prepared for their career journey. If I can share anything, it's just what an amazing school counseling team we have at Lindbergh Schools. We are consistently meeting to talk about how we can grow programs for students with the ultimate goal that students leave Lindbergh Schools saying, that was a great experience. I really am prepared to go out and take on my next adventure, whether it is college, whether it is the workforce, whether it is in the military, or whatever the student chooses to do. They say, I was prepared by Lindbergh Schools to go off and do all of those, take on all of those challenges. So I just really want to thank our team again for all their hard work. And if you ever have any questions regarding any of our career development in kindergarten through 12th grade, you are more than welcome to reach out to your building school counselor or myself, Jill Lawson, and we will be happy to dig in deeper and show you how you can engage with your student in this experience as well. So thank you so much.